Mm.
Uh, Fast forward, if you're watching this live right now, cover your ears because I'm going to talk about what happened to Gabe on the show. Okay? You've been warned. There you go. Dude, you were such a gangster for the way you... And so going into that process, I guess, how much of the Bachelor process did you know before going into it? Had you watched seasons? Did you know about it? And then being a Christian on top of that, because you have, right, like the two sides. How'd you go about that?
Yeah, so I never watched the Bachelor season.
Really?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, man, never did.
Did you go? You just went in blind?
Yeah, kinda.
Kinda?
I mean, obviously, being in the U.S., you kind of understand the nature, like the show concept.
Right.
I'll also say, like, leading into the show, I didn't like. It wasn't until I didn't like when the show was initially presented. I didn't know it was actually going to be under the Bachelor umbrella of shows. I knew it was a new concept produced by the Bachelor with this music focus of things, and so.
Wow.
It being kind of this musically geared reality show with, this dating aspect, I was like, yeah, I'm not afraid to be myself in a space where I can create relationships. And there was, it's kind of being you and being willing to just create authentic connections. And then, and having that music side was really intriguing to me because, like, hey, I've always wanted to really, get my own music. And I love being with musicians and creating, and honestly, was open to finding love too. So that's kind of that reality. And then the end of being a Christian, I was like, yeah, of course it is a very uncustomary and unconventional space for a Christian to be in. I really did my best to count the cost of hey, is this based on what I understand it to be? Is this something that I feel like I could confidently navigate?
Right.
I really felt like God would protect me in any place I go. And I just felt like I was confident enough in myself that I could put myself in an environment and hold to my standards and just be a light for God, regardless of what that was. And so that was kind of just my perspective and objective going in.
And you know what? You were able to maintain that through high school, so I was like, Gabe has the most self-discipline that out of anyone. If he could handle the environment of high school, being a hormonal teenager and being all right, he can handle the Bachelor. He'll set the standard. And we were cheering you on. Dude, the moment I found out, me and my wife, dude, we were going nuts because, my wife got me onto the Bachelor.
Hey.
She was into it. So she had me watching, 3 seasons before you get on. We're watching every episode. Every time you get on, we're cheering, right?
Let's
we're
go.
Home team. That's our dude. That's our guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I texted you, you were really short. Is there a contract that you signed? You can't be negative or positive about if someone reaches out to you, say, hey man, I'm excited. Is there something that you have to sign?
Yeah. So obviously there is contractual things, non-disclosure agreement stuff that you can only say certain things. And you kind of get media trained to where you just keep things very broad and very, appreciative of people reaching out in whatever form or fashion. So you can just get very tactful when it comes to responding people who do.
I was like, man, I don't want to get him in trouble. He can't be getting sued by the Bachelor. I don't know how much money he has, but the Bachelor got a lot of money, and I don't want him to get sued. And so okay, cover your ears, everybody on. Is it all right if I say a spoiler? I'll warn everybody. If you're listening to this at a later time, fast forward. If you're watching this live right now, cover your ears because I'm going to talk about what happened to Gabe on the show. Okay? You've been warned. There you go. Dude, you were such a gangster for the way you left the show. I told Lex, I was like, oh my gosh, this dude got in on his own terms. He left on his own terms. He said, listen, if it's not going to be us, I don't want this. And she was straight up with you. And you're like, all right, ain't no point in moving forward. How was that? Do the producers, better question, do the producers try to navigate you to towards a decision, or are you free enough to make that? That was a bold move, and I think a lot of people commented well on the way that you handle yourself, because that was such an independent move. Is there like a bending that the producers try to bring, or was that like straight up, this is my decision and I'm gonna go through with it?
Yeah, the thing that is very authentic about the experience is that you choose how you navigate it, right? They they tell you this, and they hold to is that they're not going to force you to do anything beyond what you choose to do, right? And so part of me just going into the experience is like, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to maintain my integrity, and if there's an aspect that I don't feel like I will be able to maintain my honesty, I'm not afraid to do what I need to do to maintain my honesty, And so that was, because my whole thing, even just like beyond the show, was like I want to do everything I can to be confidently myself, and I've learned through the years that the only way you do that is just intentionally being transparent and honest, and I've grown a lot in that. I have a lot of challenges with being honest sometimes, and not because I'm being directly deceitful, but because I can kind of beat around the bush kind of thing and not share my full heart's heart. And so really getting into the experience like, hey, the only way that I know I can really be myself is that I share where I'm at honestly. And so that was really just where I was at. And the production and network is really steady in that lane of like, hey, we want you to create something that's real and not fake, and that's all on you to do that.